What's going on, people? The universe, the world. This voice here, back at you again with another weekly fasting update. This week is real different, real special to me because certain patterns that I was noticing and certain rhythms I was noticing wanted to do something that was pretty big that I usually do, but I do it like at least once a year. Is a big fast. And so this year I'm doing a 9 day fast. I'm shooting for a 9 day fast. Who knows? I might end it at 8 or 7. But at this point right now, I am 6.5 days into a fast. And I started last Sunday, and it's Sunday today. Made a video last night, but I wanted to didn't really get that message too, so I wanted to get another one. But yeah, I'm on a 9 day fast right now. I didn't eat all week. Started Sunday night at 7:30, and so been going good. Like the first 4 days wasn't bad because the 3 days wasn't bad because I usually do 48 and 72-hour fast on a regular basis. So when it comes down to getting into a big fast like this, like the first couple of days is easy, and that's why I worked. So I worked 3 graveyard shifts, 12-hour graveyards, and it was kind of a breeze. It wasn't too bad. I had normal energy. It wasn't nothing that was abnormal, and that's why I preach about fasting on a regular basis. So when you want to get into a big fast and do a big sacrifice for yourself and for the environment, it'll be easier and smoother to go into. Now, Friday and Saturday were 2 different days because Friday was day 5 and Saturday was day 6. Now, my biggest fast before this one was a 6 day fast, 6 days and like 8 hours. And once I was getting to that hump of 6 days, that was kind of hard. You know what I mean? I felt fatigued. I felt kind of light, and my lower gut was that was the biggest problem. It was feeling like I was constipated, but I ain't eating nothing, so I'm like, where's this constipation coming from? Then I would go to the bathroom and I would sit there and nothing would come out and it was just gas, or it was just some pressure that was being released. And so that's what you gotta do is you gotta literally listen to your body and see what it wants to do, because if I would have ignored that, I would have just thought like it was just a stomach ache and nothing coming out, but it was coming from the lower gut. And so that's what you have to do with your body. You got to understand like what your body is trying to say. You know what I mean? Because after I did that, I was fine. Then later in the day, that's when the real taboo stuff came. I was more was something was coming out, and that's a good results in my eyes because I'm trying to get rid of this gut a little bit because my lower gut has been here for all my life. I've been over 200 pounds since I was 12, and now I'm under 200 pounds averaging for the last 3 years. No, last 2 years I've been under 200 pounds on the regular. So when it comes to like getting into deep fast, you're really pulling in between the organs. You know what I mean? Because you do collect fat and a lot of other tar in your lower intestines that that's very hard to get out, and so it's very hard pushing. So that's what I was feeling, and that's where the fatigue comes from. For your energy is mostly focused on your gut, and it was sometimes I feel my gut, and it was like really pumping really hard. It was moving, and I was like, wow, this is what like the experience that I want with it is that I want the results and the big fast and to go deep into a fast and really pull out the in between, because the last time I did a fast, I lost more weight than I have this time already, because that was a 6 day fast, and yesterday was day 6 and day 7 now, and I weighed myself all day just to see, and I was like, wow, I'm literally 10 pounds heavier than I was when I did a 6 day ended my 6 day fast. So it goes to show you with the when your body is familiar with this, it will retain more, but it will retain the good stuff and get rid of the bad stuff. And that's how your body works. You need to understand that a lot of people downplay their bodies and don't realize your body is the best gift God gave us. You know what I mean? We gotta take care of it to the fullest, and you gotta make your sacrifices and give your tithes. You know what I mean? I give mine through fasting, and I'm better without. I take this time to sacrifice now because this is not my season. You know what I mean? My season is spring and summer, when there's abundance in the food I love, which is fruit and veggies and nuts and seeds, and that's what I focus on. And at this time of year, that's not in abundance. So I gotta change the direction. So that's why last month I did 2 72 hour fasts, and then this month I did a couple 48s, and now I'm doing a 9 day fast. I feel fine. I stay active. You know what I mean? I got kids and I got dogs and I got a wife I got to look after and take care of, and got a whole household to run. And so work a full blown job, and I'm keep going. Like sometimes I crash because yeah, because when you're fasting, you get up 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. You're going like literally. I get up and brush my teeth, wash my face, stretch, do a little meditation, do cold therapy, then I'm going. You know what I mean? I'm doing my research, or I got some other busy stuff to do, or I gotta travel, or I gotta go help somebody. You know what I mean? So that's how it is. And I see food sometimes slows you down. You know what I mean? Because you gotta think about what you want to eat, and you want to not stress eat, because stress eating is the worst eating. You're really feeding yourself really fast, and you're not really absorbing nothing. And that's what I seen in a lot of people, including myself, because I was stress eating a whole lot because I was addicted to food and I wanted to eat everything. Then I got to the point where I was noticing in my stool that food wasn't broken down. It was still kind of whole. And I was like, wow. So I start chewing my food more. And it's not me just chewing, it's my whole gut and my whole digestive system not working either, because they have their part. And I have the mouth has its part, and the rest of the body has its part to do. So when it came down to it, my body wasn't functioning. And so that's why I like fasting, because it's a reset with all the food we have, and even with the natural foods, with us destroying the planet as we are, even the organic natural foods that was here before us is getting depreciated. So do you eat more of it, or do you just rely on other outsources by humans? And I rely on the other factors that plays inside of our body. It's like rejuvenation. Like plants live off certain things, and we can live off those certain things too. Like the most important things in humans is air, sun, water, and sunlight. You cannot survive without those three things. It's starting, especially without air. You can only go like what 30 minutes without air. Like you hold your breath for 30 minutes and you're probably dead. You know what I mean? Water, you can only go probably a week without water. Like it's hard to go past a week without water. And a lot of people don't realize that our bodies are set up like this, that it can really fuel ourselves, and then food. Like we can push food longer than we can push water, and that's because of if you practice these certain things, you can become like a plant. Like you can break down photosynthesis and get your main your main source from prana, from the good air. Like you focus on air enough, it will work. And that's what I did. Like this morning when I woke up, I was feeling fatigue, and I sat on the bathroom toilet, and nothing really came out. And I went outside and did some deep breathing for about 10 good minutes, and my whole body changed. Like my gut stopped hurting, my heart stopped racing, my mind cleared out. Like literally, I stopped focusing, and I was like focusing on the moon at the time. The moon is full this morning. It looks so beautiful, and I'm out there like just in the cold air. It's probably like what 25 degrees outside, and I was out there with my dog just chilling, getting some fresh air, and that helps the skin, that helps the lungs. And a lot of people don't realize these certain simple things that literally God created this earth for us to live in, that we can amplify our bodies with. And it's like I bulletproof my body this way. Like I feel like I'm like on fire. Anything that comes at me will burn on the way to me. That's how my body feels when I'm in fasting modes. And there's sometimes when I'm weak, because there's internal work that's going on that needs to be done. Like I said in my previous video, $10 in the bike almost killed me because I was 24 years old, pre-diabetic. And that's another big thing. Like you shouldn't be so young with health problems. And I was even 14, pre-diabetic. Got a story to tell about that. How like I went to the doctor and they knew I was, and really didn't give me no advice about how to correct it, or how to what to stay away from. And I had to do my own research. And like, oh, my body is this type of body. I don't need to be eating this at all. I only need to be eating little of this, little to none of this, and be really focused on these certain groups of food. And that's what I found through fruit and vegetables and nuts and seeds. Like I need those minerals. I need my liver survives better off like high levels of minerals, and you get that from fruit. You get that from fruit, and my body functions way better. And so it comes down to the information, because I started doing 9 day fasts, bigger fasts, because it was more spiritual sense to me, because I started doing meditations. I'm like, humans never had abundance of food. you can check our history. It was always in famine. We was always having war over clean water and and having and getting resources for food and shelter. You know what I mean? Those are the main two things: food and shelter. And so it comes down to like, yo, we didn't always have 3 meals in a day, even two or one. Sometimes there was people, especially the men, that gave up their food to their kids or their wives. You know what I mean? They didn't eat for 2 or 3 days. Our bodies are designed to do like that. Even back when we was living in the wild, you didn't live you didn't live close to animals. That was really stupid. You was gonna be fighting all the time and fighting for basic resources. So they lived farther and they know they was more resilient to the. They recognized that they was more resilient. They can do more things like travel for 2 3 days to go get food and travel back 2 3 days to bring it back, and that can be almost 5 days without eating. Well, since you're the one that's traveling to go get the food, you'll go there, you'll eat as much as you can and bring back as much as you can. So you won't be on the way back. You won't be just looking at the food you carrying and be starving. Eat the portions of the food that you're gonna give to the people that you love. So it gets to that point where it's like, all right, what can we do in this day and age where it's commercialism like crazy everywhere you go out? There's signs blinking, even in magazines and books and you know what I mean, newspapers and on TV like crazy. Like you know what I mean. Every time you watch a show for 5 minutes, you got 2 minutes of drowning you into commercialism. So people don't understand that, we're fully consumed into it. Like you're working for the companies. Like so you gotta pull back and create some discipline for yourself. Really, like create some discipline for yourself. And that's when the mind will like, oh, your ego is taking your mind and your spirit. They're all connecting. Like you have an ego and a spirit, and they need to like connect and understand. And that's another thing about connection. Like my gut and heart and mind, I feel like is I never been like this in my life. Like where I can listen to my heart and listen to my gut and my mind, and they're all communicating at the same time, and like it fuels my body. Like you know what I mean? I'm on my passion. I know what I want to do in life. I know, like I'm not confused. I'm not walking around like, I don't know, I don't know, I don't know, and being confused about life. And it's more like a direct feel because you give that sacrifice and like, all right, I know what I want for me and me and mine. Period. And it goes to show that like this ancient, very ancient, I feel like technique that you can't put in a bottle. You can't put it in a magazine. You know what I mean? You can't box it up and sell it to somebody because it's something so natural that even people in prisons, you know what I mean? How'd you survive? And they wasn't even feeding you at all. And it's like, yo, the man, the human body is amazing. And it comes to like on a lower level, people will make you starve and at jails and stuff like that when you're suffering. Then there's the flip side on a higher level where there's people that are the elites. They're not eating as much. They literally sleeping 6 hours a day. I'm like, I don't need to sleep all day. Like, you know what I mean? 6 hours is good enough for me. I literally went to bed at 10, woke up at 4, and that was good. Like, woke up at 4 and started doing my normal regime. You know what I mean? I just gotta take it slower because I'm up 4 hours before everybody else in my house. Like the average person gets up at 6, 7, and then they really up at 8. And what they really up at 8 is what I'm at 4:30. You know what I mean? Because I feel it. I just feel the energy going. I feel it from my head all the way down in my back. And this is what I want to share to people that you do your research, you fill up the right way, and you communicate with your body. Because like I said, when I did my 6 day fast, I got down at the end of my 6 day fast, I got down to 160, and I'm day 7 right now, and I'm 180. You know what I mean? That's how your body works. Because I do a lot of cold therapy, and cold therapy is one of the main things that trigger your body to turn white fat into brown fat, which is more denser, which is it's more of a stronger fat for your body. It's way more healthier. It's not like the lighter fat. You don't want the lighter fat. You want the more denser, heavier fat. But everything's all good, man. I'm feeling good today. I'm not gonna be busy all day. I know those fatigue moments are gonna hit. You know what I mean? It's chill. You know what I mean? Like you're doing self healing at this time, so you don't want to stay too busy. Like there's not a lot to do when there's not eating. Like trust me, like that's all mainly people want to do is just eat, 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 and there's other things to do in life. You know what I mean? Like there's projects to be done. There's other ways to use your mind and just focus on food. So that's all I want to do. Is just share what my experience is through fasting, and hopefully everybody else can get on board. Like I'm trying to start a tribe that we can all encourage each other, because this is something that I feel like is really really dope. You know what I mean? It makes me feel like almost like an anime character sometimes, like how I feel like I'm on fire or I'm bulletproof with my immune system, and literally I feel like I'm on top of the world. And I mean personally with my health, and your biggest health is your biggest wealth. So it gets to the point where like it's just information I'm trying to spread out to people. Like it's all love. It's all love. So make sure you like, subscribe, and share to somebody. And thank you. You know what I mean for the watch. I appreciate it. If you make it to the end of the video, really thank you. Appreciate it a lot. Trying to spread the word, get it out there, and be spreading this information on different platforms. So get the word out there, because fasting, it can be hard at first, but it get to the point where that's where you want to live in. I already had a friend of mine that tried it out for a couple weeks, and he's like, yeah man, I need to be doing this on a regular basis. Like I feel different. He's approaching 30. I'm 31. And so you're in this between 25 and 31, and you ain't fasting. Like you need to get on board. Like get on board big time. Like the younger you go, like less you need it because of how your metabolism works. But like get on board. So it's all love, baby. Peace.